Beard, this game sucks. Hey, did you like the Thor movie that came out a few weeks ago? Did it fill you with optimism and goodwill for more Marvel movies? Well, take a look. Take a real good look at Thor: God of Thunder. Yep, crap.
I should have seen it coming.
It boggles the mind how a game that looks and plays like this could possibly be released in 2011. We all know movie license games are the bastard litter of the video game world. But Thor: God of Thunder, well, this is a whole new level of suckitude.
You've come here to die.
Thor could have been a decent God of War clone. I could have been a decent human being. Some things clearly aren't meant to be.
You cannot stand against me!
Zounds! This game doesn't even attempt to not be a cliche of movie games. The story is as such. Thor and his brother Loki have their family issues, and these issues spill out into fights and battles. Like the Real Housewives of Asgard, or something like that.
No more lies!
The game is extremely combat-based. Thor combat-based. You know, the heavy strikes, the thunder god-type powers. Thor focuses entirely on combat, and not much else. There are upgrades throughout for more powers. That's worth mentioning, I guess. And Thor has finishing moves. Wow, Thor's got something other games have. Stop! Hammer time! In the combat, it's never quite clear what's going on. Just button-mashing nonsense. And the timing is jerky. It actually sucks out my will to live.
Then I shall shatter that will with my hammer.
And I haven't seen boss battles this bad since Bruce Springsteen's first divorce. Let's play a game called How Bad Is It? Thor is so bad, it's been living in a mansion in Pakistan for the past 5 years. Thor is so bad, it replaced Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men. Thor is so bad, Stan Lee still made billions off it. If this game doesn't bring about Ragnarok, I will be very surprised.
I want justice.
This game is nothing but a cheap Thor you could find on any Hollywood street corner. Thank Odin's son Jack Kirby isn't alive to see this one.
What have I done?
Thor: God of Thunder peters out with 1 Uru hammer out of 5.
Doesn't matter. They'll suffer for this all the same.
It's almost always a terrible sign when a video game adaptation of a popular film is released months after the movie leaves theaters. And Clash of the Titans, the video game, is no exception. After some delays, this title is exiting the development process the same way the remnants of a partially digested Costco hot dog evacuate the colon of Aretha Franklin.
Something feels very wrong here.
You play as Perseus, a half-man, half-god who must defeat Hades so that the world isn't destroyed by the Kraken, a hideous beast of gigantic proportions who devours everything in its path, like Carney Wilson at a Sizzler. As you can imagine, the character models are at best passable. The Sam Worthington one is alright, but your mom in the game looks like a constipated zombie. But we haven't even gotten to the real reason this game sucks. It's a mind-numbing collection of fetch quests that have you venturing into the same boring zones repeatedly to fight through endless waves of respawning enemies, over and over and over. Here's an example of a quote-unquote quest in Clash of the Titans. This chubby guy here tells you to fish for him because he's hungry.
I'll eat anything as long as it's not poisonous. Anything.
So you think there must be a fishing minigame like in Zelda, right? But no. Here you have to fight your way through a bunch of skeleton monsters until you come across a glowing dot on the ground that tells you you've acquired fish. The game allows you to play cooperatively with a friend during certain sections, which is great unless you expect to be able to understand what's happening. It's like the digital equivalent of having David Spade for a co-star. Here's a real shocker. Clash of the Titans, the video game, is a 1.
Please, don't do anything stupid.
Out of 5. Death Ritual! Let's do this! I am going!
Oh, crap. We dropped 5 minutes ago and we were killed immediately. That's my bad. Yeah, GG's though.
This is Aquaman. Doesn't look like Aquaman to me. This is Aquaman. You know, the Luke Skywalker boyishness, the tasteful scaly orange mixed with the industrial green of his gloves. This guy, he's got a blonde mullet and a claw hand. What happened? A horrible disaster at a Skinner concert? Now, if you think the fish man looks bad, check out the game. You swim and you fight. Swim more, then fight. That's it, and it still barely works. Reminds me of another famous superhero game, the abominable Superman 64. Looks like the Man of Steel's got it, but... Now we all know that Aquaman's superpower is that he can talk to fish. Look what happens when the concentric circles come out of his head in the game. Oh yeah, that's exciting. Well, I'm not gonna let some stupid game prevent me from a decent Piscean human discourse. Meet Slippy. He's my new buddy that I took around my hometown. Slippy and me became fast friends. He loved the view. Which is more than I can say for the graphics in Aquaman. The only effort seems to have been put into Aquaman's golden, flowing mullet. And these are what pass for cutscenes. Comic book panels without sound. But you can add your own.
Arthur, you must stop him. You cannot allow this man to continue to attack Atlantis or us.
He will not of that, you can be sure. Slippy and I had far better conversations. We talked about his life in the ocean and even called some family. Yeah. Virtually all you do in Aquaman is fight bad guys. Sometimes to deactivate bombs, and other times to rescue these Tom of Finland rejects. You'd expect then that the combat might be half decent at least. This is the highlight. The controls are mushy, and some combos require an absurd amount of memorization. Not that it matters. Just hit some buttons, move on, hit some buttons. Speaking of fun, Slippy and I were having a blast until we went to the wrong part of town. After that, he started to act surly. I think he had too much water.
No.
Aquaman is one of the worst games to come out this year, and it's just enough elements to qualify as a game and no more. There is not one interesting aspect of this title to even warrant a rental. Aquaman, the fight for Atlantis, sleeps with the fishes. A 1 out of 5. Oh, and Slippy, well, he made some comment about my hair. I made a comment about deep fat fries and big appetites. Amazing. Such a bad game to make for such a great day.
Giddy up! Welcome to Games You should never buy.
Great job!
Where we save you cash by pointing out what's truly deplorable and intolerable in the world of video games. First up is Barbie Horse Adventures. Most would likely pass this one up based on the title alone, but we're here to warn the little girls out there who might be ensnared by its barn-infested charms. You play as Barbie, who goes on a summer vacation to a horse ranch with her politically correct pals.
Look out, nature! Here we come!
Yeah, look out for these litter-strewing suburbanites.
Welcome back, girls.
As luck would have it, the horses escape the very day Barbie shows up, and it's up to Barbie to rescue them. And Barbie just loves horses.
You're a good girl.
As you might expect, you can change Barbie's outfits.
Press the A button to choose a different jacket.
Now Barbie's found the ultimate accessory. You can even change the horse's tail for whatever reason. I wonder how long that tail will stay white.
Our horse is getting really dirty. We'd better wash her off.
During your trials, you'll come across dangerous creatures like this lightning-quick porcupine.
We need to time our run past the porcupine.
And all horses like skunks.
We're almost out of trust on the friendship meter.
Run away, Barbie! Run away from the dangerous skunk! Oh. The rest of the game consists of Barbie collecting coins, opening chests, and using her cell phone in the woods.
Christy, Barbie here.
But she's a tough old broad. It's no wonder most girls don't like video games with dreck like this being pushed on them. Straight from the bad idea file comes Monster Garage. If you watch any amount of television, your chances of avoiding Jesse James, the gearhead behind the show, aren't good. The game takes actual challenges from the show and asks you to complete them, which means transforming vehicles into crazy contraptions.
This week's challenge, take a 1968 Ford Bronco and turn it into a 1968 Ford Bronco.
As popular as the show is, this game isn't going to make any new fans. You begin by buying parts. Everyone knows how men love to shop. Once you have the parts, you can enlist the services of all-star wrench monkeys to do some of the dirty work. But you have to do a lot of it yourself. Who needs Ninja Gaiden when you can unscrew bolts in Monster Garage? Things get really interesting when you're asked to remove body panels. And the excitement becomes uncontrollable when you get to weld. Sorry, Monster Garage. The only people interested in this game will be too busy working on real cars. Last, and most certainly least, is Big Rig's over-the-road racing.
Yeehaw!
Hands down, this is the worst video game to ever be released. Really. It's supposed to be a racing game, but you don't really race anyone. Oh, your competitor is there at the starting gate, but he's not going anywhere. At least you're sure to win the race every time. Yes, I are winner. Objects in the way? No worries, you can drive right through them. Tired of following the beaten path? Why not just leave the game world altogether? At least you can come back. The box says to get ready for CB talk and convoy roll in action, but there's no CB, or any sound for that matter. And the last time we checked, one rig does not equal a convoy. So there you have it. Games so bad we can't review them because our rating scale doesn't have a 0. Don't say we didn't warn you.
That's a pretty snazzy performance there.
Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog is back and taking his first sneaker-laden steps on the Xbox 360 and into the future of gaming.
How can this be our future?
This is terrible!
Animators have painstakingly slowed down every frame so gamers could truly appreciate the fine mahogany craftsmanship. But unfortunately, they had to replace the delicate grains with glitches. Hedgehog-killing glitches.
Whoa!
Not to say that the deficit of adequate controls and aiming hasn't taken out more furballs than the Turks during World War I. They have. Oh, and the camera. That swinging heifer unable to locate a solitary enemy on the screen. Go ahead, locate the boss. Don't look towards Eggman's insidious devices to handle your toe tag. It's the falling tower hidden by the camera that kills you in the end. At times, you can almost catch a glimmer of what next-gen Sonic could have been through the higher quality cutscenes. Not that they're all of highest caliber.
Okay, you be careful, Tails.
Or help make any sense of the story.
His power can change time and even manipulate the fabric of time itself.
And the barely legal furry undertones tend to stand out, especially if you do this.
I'm so glad that you came.
Despite what you think, Sonic is not about losing the princess, saving the princess, losing the princess, going back to town, saving the princess, seeing how fast an underage girl can pick matted blue hair out of her teeth, and dramatic pause. It's about the people.
Huh?
Helping the 10 or so people in this sparsely populated Duplo city. Like this good citizen, I accept the task and... yeah. Okay, and we're back, and she's telling me what I already know, and... what? Were you hoping to see more Shadow riding around a car, Silver missing every throw, or hours of my life wasted just pushing forward? So here's the puzzle. Obviously the number 5 is missing. I make my selection, and... the loading screen is the mortar that keeps this house of Usher together. After leaving a city, before the boss fight, after you die, between cutscenes, before the results, after the results. Hold on, where was I? After the girl, and way after any redeeming quality may have been leached out of the series by some of the most uninspiring environments, shoddy controls, and degenerate use of the same stages over and over again by characters even less defined than a Rorschach test. That's why we're giving Sonic the Hedgehog for the Xbox 360. What? These are high-end scores. A 1 out of 5.
Tony Hawk Ride may go down in history as the game that finally ended the motion control craze. The game's developers have taken a cue from the Wii Balance Board and packed in a wireless skateboard controller. The peripheral is solid and durable, but there's just one problem. The game is an enormous piece of crap.
Now get in there, let's do it.
To help us demonstrate, we've invited X-Play's #1 fan, Gamertag, to... what are you wearing?
Hey, Morgan, it's great to be here. I'm dressed up like Christian Slater from Gleaming the Cubes, and I'm getting ready to gleam my own cubes on Tony Hawk's Ride.
That's, really precious.
Look at me, skating the Tony Hawk way. Awesome.
Anyway, as you'll quickly find, the controls in Tony Hawk Ride are largely broken. You lift your nose to ollie and slide your foot alongside the board to push.
Now that you know how to stand on the board and push, it's time to start the fun.
Actually, Tony, the fun never really starts.
Grinds! Grinding objects is a blast.
Yeah, not really. Manuals are surprisingly satisfying to pull off, but as you might expect, many of your movements don't register on time.
There's kind of a delay when I do everything, especially when I'm skating.
Yeah, and even when it works right, the game never really feels like skateboarding. On easy mode, you don't even steer the board. It's like the skateboarding equivalent of an on-rails shooter.
Let me ask you this, should I be experiencing a burning sensation in my shins?
Not unless your lower legs had sex with a meth-addicted prostitute. The repetitive nature of Ride is just another reason the game should be buried 6 feet under the earth and never be heard from again.
Maybe I could just use the controller?
Unfortunately, the answer is no. The gameplay has been built around the busted peripheral, so the open-world elements of previous games are gone. There is absolutely no scenario under which Tony Hawk Ride would provide even the slightest hint of pleasure.
Well, what if I actually take it outside and skateboard with it?
Well, we paid $120 for it, but there's nothing you could do to make it more broken. Do you want to have a skateboarding montage set to terrible punk music?
Morgan, it's my destiny.
On one level, we have to admire Tony Hawk Ride for its Hail Mary pass attempt at revitalizing the franchise, but the laggy motion controls, unresponsive steering, and repetitive gameplay make this a 1
This is a true Cinderella story.
out of 5.
See you at the next cube we're gonna glean.
Hi, I'm the Black Hokage. You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just G4. Before I moved to LA, I considered calling myself the Florida Hokage, but I don't get day drunk enough.
Hi, I'm Kasim G. You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just G4. People say I'm the most handsome G4 host, and I've asked both my parents.
Hi, my name is Kevin Pereira. You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just G4. Sometimes, I wonder if my entire life is in a snow globe, inside a YouTube Let's Play.
You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just G4. My favorite League of Legends character? The sexy one with weird ears.
Hi, my name is Avali May. You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just G4. My life is like a dating simulator coded by my mortal enemy.
My name is Gerard Khalil. You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just G4. Life is a speed run that beats you.
You could game with any network that never stopped gaming, or just with G4. Can you guys add like the Disney? People tell me I look like a young Kurt Cobain, played by an average-looking sketch comedian.
The best thing that we can say about Duke Nukem Forever is that you're not obligated to play it. The only way this game would get a 5 is if our scale went up to 100.
Duke Nukem? Yeah, my kid's a real big fan.
Nice try, but nobody under 30 knows who Duke Nukem is. After being delayed for over a decade, the real surprise of the game is how joyless it is. Advertisements promise a balls-to-the-wall, action-packed experience, but what you actually get is a dated mess that features twitchy moments, glitchy graphics, and if you're lucky, 3 enemies on screen at once.
What about the game, Duke? Was it any good?
Despite all the time in development, the only thing the developer succeeded in is crafting a relentlessly dull game that's punctuated by lame sexual innuendo.
So tiny. I know right where I'd stick him.
That dialogue is really clever. So let me make sure it didn't sail over everyone's heads. You see, Duke's been shrunk down, and the woman in the scene is implying that she would insert Duke into her vagina. That's an example of a joke in Duke Nukem Forever. It's rare that the word pathetic can be used to describe a video game, but in this case, it applies. Duke Nukem Forever is like that obnoxious guy at work who tells really lame, unfunny jokes, and everyone just tries their best to avoid him.
I'm bringing sexy back.
But stale level design is the game's worst offender. You travel down a linear path and occasionally get stalled so that waves of exactly 3 bad guys at a time can attack you.
Size only matters when you're full grown, baby.
Sure, if this had been released a decade ago, people would have been impressed by the technology, but you could say the same thing about Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. By charging $60, the game makers are directly inviting comparison with full-fledged modern releases. If this had been a budget downloadable game, it would have been an odd curiosity, but a full-price retail release is going to be considered as such. Multiplayer feels like an afterthought. Deathmatch and Capture the Babe are extremely laggy and the controls are unresponsive. Let me be clear, on those merits alone, Duke would get a terrible score. But we'd like to address one other area that's troubling, the game's creepy, hateful view of women. In one particularly disturbing scene, you come across women sobbing in the alien nest. They're naked and bound to the walls, and the implication is they've been forcibly impregnated by the alien creatures. What's really problematic and troubling is this is all played for laughs.
Duke, we'll get the weight off in like a week, we swear!
Sorry, babe. It's better this way.
I'm done with this. Here's your score. A 1 out of 5. Hey, Ma, I was shot 9 times, and all I got was this crappy video game.
Oh, you alive! 50, baby, we were sick about you.
50 Cent Bulletproof is a game that's 1 part hip-hop, 1 part shooter, and all parts crap. Let's detail its offerings. Well, you have 50 Cent, whose facial expression denotes an equal dissatisfaction with this muddy-colored waste of time, or someone just keeps rubbing poop on his upper lip. You can tell it's him by his bling. You know, I always wondered how Jesus would react to that cross. See, it also has other rappers, Dre.
Oh, is that a ghost?
Eminem. But you shouldn't be playing this game for the robotic retirees of hip-hop.
Is that any way to welcome a guest?
This game is about action. All you do in this game is shoot. That's it. And guess what? The shooting sucks. It sucks so much, I'm not gonna waste an analogy on it. No matter where you are, how close to an enemy you are, what gun you are using, you can't hit anything easily. This isn't realism, it's just complete crap. Look at this. In this game, I wouldn't even be able to Fat Joe successfully.
I never ran from nothing.
Yeah, I know, because you can't run. 50 moves so sluggishly in this piece of programming Afterbirth. You think the developers thought that the crap aiming wouldn't be enough to inform the player that they have been ripped off?
Is money the only thing that matters to you?
That's pretty funny coming from a guy who calls himself 50 Cent.
Okay, so for that reason alone, you should never play this game. But hold on, I want to point some other things out. Okay, here's one of the early missions. Yep, you've got to go to the laundry. But it gets better. You have to turn the power on for the laundry. Why? So you can leave the laundry.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
See how 50 is looking at the pen like it's as confusing as Medicare? That might explain this tidbit of dialogue.
Yo, these kids ain't from Queens, man. They using some high-tech shit.
Yep, that's what passes for deductive reasoning here. Using electronic armaments removes suspicion for all the inhabitants of one of the 5 boroughs.
Cover me, thanks.
So there you have it. This game has just been given more attention than it's ever worth. Thinking it's interesting because 50 Cent is involved is as sensible as letting Michelle Rodriguez drive you home safely. A 1 out of 5.
Come get some!